the RHA 2025 general election recap. Is that rain too much, or is that expressing the general consensus and mood after this November's election? There are some things to look forward to, and I want to go through a quick recap across the state. So obviously the biggest news of the election comes out of the state's biggest city, Seattle. Incumbent mayor and former city council member Bruce Harrell is out. Democratic Socialist Katie Wilson is in. We'll have to wait and see how many of her policies she thinks she'll be able to implement, although she will have some help from a more progressive city council. Going over to King County wide now, we will have the new King County executive, Gurmai Zahalai. Zahalai beat out Claudia Balducci by a fair number of votes. Zahalai will actually take his position as executive in November versus January, because with the vacating of the role by former executive King County Executive Dow Constantine, the position has been held by an appointed individual, and so when that happens, the new voted in candidate assumes their position early. Jump across the state now to the Lilac City, Spokane. Not fantastic news from across the mountains. District 3 council member Zach Sapone will retain his seat, beating out challenger Chris Savage. In a surprising turn of events, Councilmember Jonathan Bingle will actually be losing his seat as well. This leaves Councilmember Michael Cathcart as the sole conservative voice on the Spokane City Council. So Spokane looking to take the title of most progressive city council in the state. Coming back across to the west side now to the city of Tacoma, the new mayor will be Anders Zipson, who unfortunately beat out current council member John Hines, but silver lining there, John Hines will retain his District 1 council seat for the next 2 years, and he will be joined by some of his returning fellow members, Councilmember Sarah Rumbaugh, Councilmember Joe Bushnell. And these votes will be important when the Tacoma City Council looks at rolling back or removing items of Measure 1, which has Tacoma as taking the top spot for a city in the state with the most onerous rental housing policy. Jumping back up to Bellevue now, RHA PAC endorsed candidate Jared Neuenhaus easily won his race in a landslide. He's an extremely popular council member, and we look forward to working with Councilmember Neuenhaus as he continues to serve the city of Bellevue. In the city of Kirkland, RHA PAC endorsed candidate John Pascal won his re-election campaign, although his own party tried to oust him from the seat as they did not believe he was a progressive enough council member. Jumping up to Snohomish County, State Representative Sam Lowe will retain his seat on the Snohomish County Council, which is great news for housing providers up in Snohomish County. And also some nice news on a familiar face. Former state senator and gubernatorial candidate Mark Mollett will be the new mayor of Issaquah. The state legislative races were pretty rough going. Representative Amy Wallen, who's ran for the Senate seat in District 48, unfortunately lost her bid for that Senate seat. The good news there is she will retain her House seat, so she will still be able to be a voice of reason in the Democratic Party and an advocate for housing providers in the House of Representatives. And she will be joined by State Representative Michelle Caldier, who also unfortunately lost her bid for the state Senate seat in District 26 down in the Kitsap Peninsula. She unfortunately lost out to the appointed Democratic senator down there. But she will still retain her seat in the House of Representatives, fighting for housing providers in Olympia. Up to District 5 in Snohomish County, unfortunately, former state representative Chad Magendas will not win his election bid for the Senate seat there. And last but certainly not least, the mayor of Burien, Kevin Schilling, unfortunately lost his bid for the House of Representatives for District 33. Things looked really, really good for Mayor Schilling on election night and even the day or two after that. But as some more ballots came in and more counts were done, he unfortunately fell behind by a few hundred votes, and that's the way it all settled at the end. If you're feeling a little melancholy after this race, going back to my brain at the beginning of this video, that's okay. I encourage you and urge you to get more active with your voice and your story and your experiences, and be an active advocate for housing providers. This is going to become even more important as the 2026 legislative session is quickly approaching. Stay with RHAWA for all things legislative session. We'll be putting out all sorts of communication and how you can get involved in the coming months, so stay tuned.